You know how much I love to fly. Whenever I have a chance, I fly. This is my passion and my happy place. But one thing I wanted more is to learn how to fly. And since it's a bit pricey for most of us, I seek and found a solution that is affordable and can be enjoyed even by the young ones. And we're back dito sa Pasyal Tayo na handito tayo ngayon sa HANGAR Flight Simulation sa Dau, Pampanga. At kasama natin ang kanilang owner na si Christoph. Hi sir, good morning at welcome sa ating program.
Morning sir.
So first of all sir, para mas makilala kayo ng ating mga viewers, sino po ba si Christoph?
Christoph, you're a very passionate aviator, fueled by curiosity, and just a normal person who wanted to share his passion to everyone.
So when did you start, learning to fly?
Learning to fly, I started. My first flight was actually when I was 15. It was the first discovery flight, first flown the aircraft. So it was the first time I took the controls. It was given to me by the instructor. And since then, when I was started dreaming to become a pilot, I already knew I was being fueled with my curiosity and my passion. So at the same time, everything here, as you can see, is fueled by everything. So since I really wanted to share it with everyone, that's why we put everything out in public, both of us with my partner.
So with that, yung passion mo sir, yun nga, bakit mo naisipang i-share ang flying, lalong-lalo na sa mga kabataan?
Siguro if there will be one thing why I wanted to share it to everyone, especially to the kids. Well, siguro looking back, I was just like them. I started dreaming when I was 6. I started collecting aircrafts. I was being a collector for more than years. I collect stuff. But one thing what makes me ask than before when I was a kid, the curiosity about the aircraft. The way how it flies up there. Siyempre, yung bata, di ba? Kung nakita ng aeroplano, parang na-amaze. Especially when you are a passenger, then you're going to look outside. Di ba? The way how everything moves. And then, since that day point, I think I already knew. And already knew na parang, I really wanted to become a pilot. But before that, before I started my flying, siguro yung curiosity ko is way beyond more. Kaya, actually, I graduated from PATS. I took my college there. I took an aviation course related, which is, sabi ko, siguro, before I start flying, since nandun na yung curiosity ko, I wanted to understand more the aviation in the field of my choice. And up to now, until such time, nakapagpalipad na ako ng aeroplano, being a pilot trainee, and as a pilot, I also wanted to share my passion to everyone, especially with the kids.
Wow.
Alright, eto na to.
Thank you mo kang
Iyak ako kang iyak. Baka wag kang kakabahan.
Hindi ako kakabahan. Tagal ko inantay ito.
Oo, tagal mo inantay ito. Pinaghirapan mo to, literal. Kita ko yung struggles mo to get here, di ba? Okay. Tower RBC 8845 landed. Revising intention, vacated the runway. Closing flight plan number 1, activating flight plan number 2, releasing student for first Solomon. Please extend assistance. Reaching outside, having brakes. Right rudder. Tower RBC 8845, now airborne, through Germany for touch and go. RB, check flaps.
845 report base.
Call you back, base RBC 8845. Approaching 45 degrees from the runway. Left gear, center clear right gear. Commencing, leveling turn, heading 200, 1000 feet. Tower RBC 845, now mid downwind at 1,000 feet. Can I just request for the position of my leading traffic?
About to land.
Copy, RBC 845. 0.5 Zaragoza 1500, request to leave frequency.
Please don't let any frequency, sir. Good day.
Army on. Army gold. 5, power setting. Power. Power.
Uh, 8845, just landed and
So sir, yung unang napalipad mo na eroplano, when nag-aaral ka pa lang, anong klase?
It was a Cessna 152.
Cessna 152.
Yes.
Back when you were 15 years old?
15 years old, the first discovery flight, yung aircraft plane, it was a Cessna 172 Skyhawk, which is the flight simulator that we are going to use here. Then, back in my pilot training days, since way back 2022, when I started my flying here in Clark, I fly a Cessna 152.
And ngayon, you are a pilot of, are you an Airbus, Boeing pilot, or still Cessna private?
I'm still flying a Cessna since I'm still finishing my pilot training.
Okay.
Both of us, my partner, we're both in a pilot training school.
Okay. So, about naman dito sa hangar flight simulation, could you give us more details about this machine?
Somehow, a bit details about this one. I don't even know. And siguro, one thing, when you just get inside the cockpit of a flight simulator, we have a very different and immersive experience. You can experience that thrill, that excitement when you're inside that kind of machine. This machine, it may be a bit different from the other simulators here in the Philippines, but for some point, being inside this cockpit, it will make you fuel up your passion more and curiosity about the aircraft, as you will going to fly in a virtual skies here in Clark as well.
And one thing na nakita ko dito sa simulator mo is yung itsura ng cockpit niya is talagang parang totoong eroplano.
Yes, sir. So it's a 1:1 na Cessna talaga. We don't have the full motion yet. So right now, we are just using a 3-dimensional. So, which is maybe in the future, we might be planning of putting that simulation na full motion. But getting inside this cockpit with that kind of immersive experience, upon starting up the engine, you would actually feel the vibration of the whole cockpit. It's like the way how it feels like starting up the real airplane.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's nice. So, sa mga aspiring pilots, especially sa mga kabataan, ano yung mga pwede mong maibigay na tips? And how difficult is it to learn how to fly?
Siguro, sir, to those younger generations right now, for me, if you are, syempre, sa engine kasi ng aircraft, there will be a fuel and air mixture para mag-produce siya ng thrust, of course. But then we have this thing na if you're fueled by passion and curiosity, I always believe that with your heart and then also that mind that you're following it, just pursue your dream. Kasi then again, the aircraft naman kasi, di ba? It takes off against the wind, not with it.
Yes, correct.
So, it moves forward. So siguro just like the passion, you are flying with your passion, you're flying with your curiosity, and you're being fueled it up. You can be more than to become a pilot.
Wow. Pero when it comes to education, do the students need to have, college degree or even high school degree? Pwede ka nang makaland ng job into commercial airlines?
For commercial airlines, they require a 4-year, any 4-year degree course. As long as you're holding a diploma, you can fly with them. But to the other countries, without the diploma, as long as you're a high school graduate, you can fly an aircraft.
Oh, so dito sa Pilipinas pala is iba ang
Yes.
iba ang patakaran.
Yes, sir. It's very different po.
And besides that, do you think, alam naman ng iba, but do you think it's really expensive to learn to fly?
Well, on that part, siguro hindi ako magsisinungaling, sir. No?
Para may idea din sila.
Well, to be honest, flying aircraft and enrolling to a flying school, it's really expensive. And siguro it's because one thing there, you are not just paying for the education, but the biggest factor there is you're paying for the fuel and the maintenance of the aircraft as well.
Correct.
And part of it, the flight instructor.
Correct.
So there's a lot of things kung ano yung binabayaran mo when you are going to fly sa mismong flying school.
And basically, how many hours do I need to fly before I could get into commercial airlines or maybe a private pilot?
Being a private pilot, as per civil aviation, we only require 40 hours of flight time.
Oh, 40 hours.
40 hours of flight time, so included with the simulation exams as well, and yung mismong cap check rides. Well, you can be a pilot for that amount of time. For commercial naman, they usually require at least 250 hours minimum of flight time. It depends on the company. But with type rating, which means that you need to have an Airbus rating.
Or Boeing.
Yes, sir.
And kung Airbus, pwedeng A320 rating.
Yes, sir.
Boeing 777 or
Yes, sir.
737.
Yes, sir.
Sige, about this cafe, could you, enlighten us about this cafe? Kasi you have this flight simulation, you have this, food din dito. Baka pwedeng mong ipakilala din tong cafe mo.
Okay. About this cafe. To be honest with you, sir, it really wasn't my idea. It was really my partner. So we are talking about this for a very long time. Both of us were actually just focusing into that simulation. But then we then realized that why not we put something very different with a twist, no?
Correct.
Para for some point, if yung other people, if hindi sila mag-simulation, they could just wait here, they could just drink coffee, they could just drop by, and also, since we have that library there, they can also read books. Because our main goal here is, of course, i-feel namin yung everything, yung curiosity ng bawat tao. That's why Hangar Flight Simulation, where curiosity meets flight.
Wow. And I do believe some of the furnitures in this cafe came from an aircraft.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Kagaya ng, sige, i-ano mo.
So, right here on this side, this is an actual radial exhaust of an aircraft. So, as we can see here on the aviator's lounge as well, we have the Cessna skins. We have the ULD panel from the aircraft as well. We have the food boxes, the galley here, which is gamit siya ng cabin crews. We have the Beechcraft propellers, another propeller there, which is the hard cell propeller from a single prop, and also a combustion chamber and a 777 turbine.
And para sa ibang mga curious na tao and mga collectors and enthusiasts, mahal bang magkaroon ng mga ganito?
To be honest, sir, I've been a hell collector for more than years. Tulad nga sabi ko, sir, I started collecting when I was 6 up to now. Siguro paunti-unti, pa-isa-isa, yearly, and until such time na up to this moment, nagugulat na lang ako na parang, oh wow, madami na pala. Well, I can say na it's a bit expensive. Pero siguro when you just really want something and you need to work hard for it, then you earn it. Kasi you put your passion into it. Siguro yun yung pinaka-main goal ko with that, sir. That's why I I have these items para mas ma-fuel up yung pinaka-passion ko and curiosity ko into something.
Wow. And I do believe this is one of the cheapest flight simulators
Yes, sir.
in the country.
So our rates here, it starts at 550 pesos, which is for 30 minutes. So for non-pilots, we have a discovery flight, starts at 650 pesos only, and you can learn fundamentals the way how to fly the airplane. I would like to invite everyone here sa Hangar Flight Simulation. So if you are curious, for those people, if you're an aviation enthusiast, or just curious about flying, you wanted to try flying to the virtual skies here in Clark or at any airport, come visit us. Our rate starts at 550 pesos only.
Again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Christoph.
Again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hangar. First, before we start flying inside the cockpit of Cessna 172 here in the flight simulator, we are going to start the flight briefing. So as per flight briefing, we have 3 sets, of course. The first one is the introduction of the aircraft. The second one, we are going to talk about the effects of the control. And the third one will be the traffic pattern. Okay, it is important for us to know this knowledge for us to have a safer flight. Because again, our number 1 priority is safety in the aircraft. Okay, let's start with the first one. For the first one, the introduction of the aircraft. Today, we are going to fly a Cessna 172 Skyhawk SP. So, Cessna 172 SP. So Cessna is the manufacturer of the aircraft, which is located in Wichita, founded by Clyde Cessna. The 172 Skyhawk SP is the series of the airplane that you are going to fly today. First flown in 1955, 1956, 4,000 of these were built, and up to now it's still flying. It's known to be one of the best light trainer aircrafts in flying today, powered by a Continental engines. Of course, it is important for us to understand the way how everything works up there. As we are going to control the aircraft, of course, we have to understand the way how those parts of the airplane move up there and the way how we counteract by through anticipating the effects of the flight controls. Okay, let's start with the first letter, which is letter E. The second one would be letter A. The third one would be letter R. So for the first letter, it would be the elevator. The second one will be the aileron. The third one would be the rudder. So for these 3, it has a primary and secondary effect of the control. For the elevator, it is controlled by the yoke. What does yoke mean? The yoke is the steering wheel of the aircraft. And we are not going to use the yoke on the ground. We only use the yoke up there when we are going to fly in the skies. So let's start with the elevator. So the elevator is located on the tail section of the aircraft, which is located here. And it controls the pitch movement of the aircraft. Assuming that you wanted to fly the airplane, so from the ground, you are going to apply full power. What you're going to do with the yoke is you are going to apply back pressure, which is you are going to pull. By pulling the yoke, what will happen to the elevator is it will move down. What will happen to the nose of the aircraft? It will move up. So that's why the aircraft will fly. So assuming that you wanted to pitch down the movement of the aircraft, what will happen to the elevator is it will move upward, and what will happen to the nose is it will move down. So for the elevator, it moves upward and downward. It controls the pitch movement of the aircraft. The aileron, it is connected on the wings of the aircraft. What happens here is it controls the bank and roll movement of the aircraft. So, by using the yoke, by twisting it on the left side, what will happen to the aileron here is it will move upward, while the other aileron on the other wing, it will move down. So assuming that you wanted to roll on the right side, what will happen to the aileron on the right? It will move up, and the left aileron, it will move down. So that's one thing why the aircraft is banking and rolling. That's why we can control the roll movement of the aircraft. Then the secondary effect of this one is yaw, which is we are going to proceed here on the rudder. The rudder, it is controlled by the pedal. So not unlike here on the ground, just like for the automobile, of course, you wanted to go from one place to another, we use the pedal for us to move the car. By stepping on the gas pedal, the car will move from point A to point B. So here on the aircraft, we are not going to use the steering wheel of the aircraft. So we are going to use the rudders as we are going to do the taxiing later. So assuming that you wanted to move the airplane on the ground by moving on the left side and on the right side, what you're gonna do there is we are going to step on the right rudder. What will happen to the airplane on the ground is we are moving on the right side. If you want to move on the left side, by stepping on the left pedal of the left rudder, the aircraft will move down on the left. It controls the yaw movement of the aircraft. So when we are going to fly up there, we are going to use the rudders as well, as we are going to do a coordinated turns, so we can fly the aircraft smoothly as much as we can. Assuming the approach in preparation for landing, this will be your aircraft and you wanted to land here. And if there's a crosswind on the right side that hits, what will happen to the aircraft's nose is it will move on the other side. So the aircraft is flying sideways. But we wanted to have a normal approach. What you're gonna do there is you are going to step on the right rudder so you can directly point the nose of the airplane to the runway for us to have a normal approach in preparation for landing. So again, we can also use the rudder pedals up there when we are flying the aircraft for yawing, and also it has a secondary effect, which is the bank or roll. Assuming that we are in emergency. Later, we are going to fly to runway 02. Park here. When we are about to enter an aerospace coming from another airport, we must have to know, and we pilots must have to know, the traffic pattern and the altitude. Especially for the most important thing there is to look out for traffic and the traffic separation in preparation for landing. Because again, safety is our #1 priority. And of course, we must ask the tower for clearance before entering the airspace of each airport.
Okay, so we are just going to have a short briefing regarding the basic instruments in flight. So we have actually 6 main instruments that are very critical in flight. So first one is the airspeed indicator. So this one, the airspeed indicator, it indicates how fast we are going up there. So it's by knots. So that's 40 knots, 60 knots, 80 knots, okay, and in between that's 50 knots, 70 knots. Okay, so the next one is the attitude indicator. It indicates our attitude against the artificial horizon. So when the aircraft is on the blue part, it means that we are climbing, and when the aircraft is below the horizon, it means that we are descending. Okay, the next one is our altimeter. Our altimeter shows our altitude, so our height. So this one, the small needle reads as per thousands, and the bigger needle or the longer needle reads per hundreds. Okay, and the next one is the vertical speed indicator, or the VSI. So this one, it indicates the rate of our climb and descent. So it's by 500, and this one is 1000. So if the needle points above 500 feet, it means 500 feet per minute climb. And if the needle points below it means a 500 feet per minute descent. Okay, so the next one naman is the attitude indicator. Okay, so our attitude indicator indicates our direction when we are flying. So it's just like in the compass. So you have your north, your west, your east, and your south. Okay, so the last one is our turn coordinator. Our turn coordinator, that one, indicates the rate of our roll and the rate of our turn. So it also shows how coordinated our turn is. So whether we are slipping or we are skidding. So that's the 6 basic instruments in flights.
Okay, so of course, again, we wanted to fly the aircraft smoothly as much as we can, of course. So again, we always have to remind ourselves to apply smooth apply of controls at all times. When we are going to fly the airplane, assuming that we are going to fly, by pitching up, pulling it slowly, about an inch. You want it to move on the right side, about an inch, slowly again. You want to move on the left, slowly. During on the ground, when we are about to do our taxiing, of course, we always have to make sure that our heels are directly on the floor and the toes are pointed here directly. Okay, let's start with the control. I want you to push this mixture. Push, full, push. There you go. Okay, then master switch on. Both. There you go. Switch the beacon lights on. We have to switch the beacon lights on. It tells the other people, it gives a warning that they're not allowed to get close because the aircraft is about to start.
Yun yung nagbibiling sa...
Yes, sa likod siya, sir. Okay.
Sa likod.
Yes. Okay. So, ignition switch to start. Okay, count 4 clicks.
1,
3.
4.
Okay, there you go. So move 1 click to the left. There you go. Okay. Switch on avionics. There you go. Okay. Radio panels are all on. Power. Left hand on the yoke. Right hand on the throttle. That's how you fly the aircraft. So we are going to use the throttle. Excuse me for a minute. We are going to use it like this, so that it will be much easier for us to add the power and to reduce the power as well. So we are going to hold the yoke like this. Okay. There you go, sir. There you go. Okay, so give me 1,200 RPM. So from 10, each line, it consists of 100 RPM. So give me 1,200. Add more, please. Add more. Oh, add more, please. That's 1,100. Give me another line. There you go. That's 1,200. Okay. Can you reduce the power to 1,000 RPM? There you go. Okay. You're doing good. Okay, please. Underneath the toggles. Landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Nav lights on. Strobe lights on standby. Okay. So before we start flying the airplane, of course, steering turns. Transponder set to out. Press this one, ALT. So there you go. Okay. Left. Center. Right. Clear. 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 Okay. Right hand on the throttle, please. Okay. There you go. So parking brakes, disengage. Pull this one. Pull. Then move it on the left. Then put that back in. Okay. Parking brakes disengage. Aircraft is moving. Look outside. Step on the left, please. Slowly. Okay. There you go. Step on the right slowly. Little bit. More right. More right. Okay, there we go. So, we always have to make sure upon takeoff the airplane, we are going to maintain center line at all times because we have a longer wings, right? We don't want to hit the other airplanes, of course. That's why we have to maintain the center line. Okay? Are you ready for takeoff, sir? Okay. It means full power. Full reach. Okay, there you go. More. 0. There you go. Stand by. Airspeed's alive and check. 40. Stand by. Look out. 50. 55. Okay, stand by. 60. Rotate. Pull up. Slowly. There you go. One-handed. There you go. Very good. Take off. Right hand on the throttle. That's how you fly the aircraft. Okay. A bit level off. So always remember, sir, when you are going to fly the airplane, smooth apply controls. So when the airplane banks on the left side, all you have to do is to counter it by turning on the right side as well. Okay, there you go, level off. Okay, not too much. Not too much. We are going to stall the airplane. This one is Mount Araya. There. We are going there on that side. Okay, pitch down a little bit. More. Okay, there we go. So you'll be known to fly, sir. Just put flight controls lang siya at all times. When the airplane banks on the left side, all you have to do is just to counter it and put more pressure on the right side. Just to maintain level. So it's like moving the yoke at the same time. More pressure, please. Again, okay. Yes. So this one is 10, this one is 20 degrees. So we don't want to go here on the third line, which is the 30, because what will happen is it will make the airplane bleed the airspeed. Why? The horizontal component of lift, it will increase more. So we don't want that, of course.
Sinesender crashes sa horizon.
Yes, sir. So we can directly maintain this one by looking outside. Since we are flying VFR, again, always have to make sure to establish here on the front, maintaining a straight and level. Okay. Add more pressure. Yes, there we go. So assuming that the airplane banks on the right, okay, there you go. Counter it up by turning on the right side. But smooth apply of controls. Okay, reduce power. Okay, all the way. Reduce power all the way. Power idle. Okay, there you go. Wait for the airplane to sink. Wait for the airplane to sink. Wait for the airplane to sink. There we go. That's how you land the airplane. So assuming that the airplane is about to sink, wait for the airspeed, let the airplane sink, and then you do flare. That's the perfect touchdown. Yes, sir. Okay.